Hey, what's up, guys? Here in the Fire Sports Pod, where everything you got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. Welcome to the podcast today here on Recap Tuesday, which is season 9, episode number 10. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes your dream yard go. Let's get right into the show for you guys today. So, on this Tuesday, we have some big NFL free agents news, and that's what we'll be going over today. But before I get to that, guys, something crazy just happened in the NBA. And this has to go on a limb here. It's probably the best game that anyone has ever done in the history of basketball, other than Will Chamberlain. Bam Adebayo for the Miami Heat just scored 83 fucking points in a game. He just beat out Kobe Bryant's 81. He set the second highest scoring outage in an NBA game other than Wilt Chamberlain, who had 100. So if Bam Adebayo, a big, can score 83 points in a game, we definitely can get up to 100. It's not. He needed 17 more points. I mean, he went 20 of 43 from the field, 36 out of 43 on free throws. I mean, he missed 7 free throws. If he makes all 7 free throws, he's at 90 points. He also shot 7 of 22 from the three-point line. So, I mean, this guy did this with free throws, field goals, and three-pointers. I mean, we definitely can see a 70-point game out here. A 100-point game. If he can get 83, 7 free throws makes, he goes and he gets 90, that's 10 more points. He definitely could have made it. But what a game. I mean, the Miami Heat won 150 to 129 over the Wizards. And Bam Adebayo has the second highest scoring outage in a game in the history of the NBA, surpassing Kobe Bryant's 81. He had 83. But that was a quick little segment there, and we will be moving on to the more important things, which is the NFL free agency. So we're going to share our screen here. So I could just give you guys kind of just a rundown, just like showing you what we're actually talking about, just not showing my face. But here I have all of the massive moves that we've had over the past couple days. Again, yesterday or the day before, we had Michael Pittman Jr. Is headed to Pittsburgh. The Steelers NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero reported Monday. Indy and Pittsburgh will swap late-round draft picks as part of the trade, Pelissero added. Trading Pittman became necessary once the Colts also secured a long-term deal with Alec Pierce. While they continued to negotiate a contract with quarterback Daniel Jones, Pittman signed a 3-year, $70 million extension in March 2024 that would have carried a $29 million cap hit in 2026. So they got rid of that and then signed Alec Pierce, who's a little bit cheaper because they're also trying to get a contract done with Daniel Jones, who was playing like an MVP candidate last year until he got injured. I was a little surprised. I didn't think they were going to sign Alec Pierce more than they were going to sign Pittman. But now Pittman is paired up with DK Metcalf in Pittsburgh. But the question is, who the fuck is going to be throwing them the ball? Because right now, there's no quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is not on the roster. Doesn't look like he's going to be signed. So we'll see who is actually going to be the quarterback to throw Michael Pittman Jr. the ball and DK Metcalf. But what a wide receiving core that is going to be next year. Now, moving on to our said, we just went over that. Alec Pierce signed a 4-year massive $116 million deal with the Indianapolis Colts. So he'll be the new number 1 wide receiver in Indianapolis for Daniel Jones. Now, this had to be a shocker. First off, we saw the podcast. If you guys didn't check out the podcast, check it out last week. We went over that the Seahawks are not re-signing Kenneth Walker to the team. And I'm like, well, what are we talking about here? This is the Super Bowl MVP. The reason why they're even in this situation is because of Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold. The fact that he's not on the Seahawks is crazy. But then I went some digging, and if you looked at Kenneth Walker's injury history, there's definitely a reason why Kenneth Walker was not re-signed to the Seattle Seahawks. And he really didn't have a crazy, crazy breakout year last year until we hit the last couple games of the season, last second half of the season, and then into the playoffs, obviously. But still, I didn't think that they would go off Kenneth Walker like this. And they did. They sent him to free agency, and look who came calling. The Kansas City Chiefs. They said, you know what? We're going to add a Super Bowl MVP to another Super Bowl MVP in Patrick Mahomes. So now you got a bona fide monster in Kenneth Walker. You got arguably the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes. Then you got still Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Rashid Rice you have still. So, and then you still got the potential to go out and get a number one threat, a big-time threat. So they might keep their squad, but this isn't looking like a very promising. I know some people didn't like the trade a lot, but I think this is going to be a really good fit for Kenneth Walker. He could catch the ball out of the backfield. Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco. He was good, but he's not Kenneth Walker. There's definitely an upgrade. Now, these will be coming out in the TikToks probably tomorrow, but just wanted to kind of recap big names. We'll be going over these as well on TikTok, so whoever's watching out there, you'll get your fair share of going over these things. But Edge, Jalen Phillips agrees to a 4-year, $120 million deal with the Panthers with $80 million guaranteed. It's a massive deal. Panthers, man, watch out for the Panthers next year, man. They gave some real big hell for the Rams in that first-round playoff matchup. The Panthers are going to be good next year, man. Bryce Young has turned it around, and it's going to be nice. Another big news. And to be honest, I might leave this for TikTok, but we'll go over in more depth about the contract. But the Packers, former Packers backup quarterback Malik Willis is headed to Miami because they got rid of Tua. And I think this is a good move. I think Malik Willis has earned his right to start in the NFL. And I think the Dolphins are a pretty good option. New head coach, pretty good defense. Got a good running game, got some good wide receivers. Obviously, no Tyreek Hill, but they still got Jalen Waddle. So I think Malik Willis is going to do some good things in Miami. So this was another big one. I did not see this one coming. I like to go into a little more depth about this because it has another bounce off after this one. Travis Etienne. The one that I said, I didn't think Kenneth Walker or Travis Etienne was going to move. They are the two that left. The Jets kept Breece Hall, which is pretty crazy. They franchise tagged him. So former Jaguars running back Travis Etienne is headed to the Saints. So with Shao, now what's happening with Alvin Kamara? Because that's the veteran. He's been there for a while. Is he on his way out? Is this kind of a move to push him out? I think it is. But if they're able to keep Alvin Kamara and Travis Etienne, that 1-2 punch in the backfield is going to be deadly, especially for a second-year quarterback in Shao who did pretty well last year for the Saints, even though that record didn't seem. But they were winning some games at the end. They were competing. So I think that if they're able to keep both, I don't think they're going to be able to, but if they're able to keep both, it's going to be a great 1-2 punch for the young quarterback in New Orleans. Now, another big one that we got to go over. I mean, Tampa Bay's run with Mike Evans is officially over. Mike Evans, 6-time Pro Bowl, 3-year deal, going to who? Santa Clara, San Francisco 49ers. You guys know I'm a Cowboys fan. I hate the 49ers. You just gave Brock Purdy a number one monster in Mike Evans, who's a deep ball threat, who's had every season with Tampa 1,000 yards or more, and you give him that, and he's still in his, I'd say he's still in his prime because this man is a monster. Other than last year, he was hurt most of the year. He's been automatic. This is a massive move. I like this move for the 49ers, especially for Brock Purdy. Now, without Brandon Ayuk, without Deebo Samuel, you need that number one big monster, and I think it's the one. Now, like I said, this is another one. We had the Miami Tua. They released Tua, and guess who picked up Tua? Atlanta. He is able to sign a 1-year deal with the Falcons. So Tua Tagovailoa is going to the Atlanta Falcons. So what does that mean for Michael Penix? They already let go Kirk Cousins. I think there's going to be a quarterback duel for the two lefty quarterbacks in Michael Penix Jr. and Tua. They're going to both go at it, and we may the best quarterback win. To be honest, I think Tua is going to win. He's just got the experience. I think he's a little bit better. Now, can he get out of the funk that he was in? I don't think anybody can with all of the concussions that he had in the past, and it's very scary. He could have lost his life. Multiple different things could have happened to him. So the fact that he's still playing is a testament to his grit, but at the same time, is he like a walking one more hit, he's done. So we'll see what happens, but this is a move that the Falcons wanted to make, and they did. I'd say the next one that we will have to go over would be the Steelers making big moves. I mean, you just signed Michael Pittman Jr., you have DK Metcalf. Now you got a bona fide monster in the backfield, and that name is Rico Dowdle. He signed a 2-year, $12.25 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now you got three monsters, DK, Pittman, and Rico. Who the hell is the quarterback? I'm waiting to see. They're probably going to go in a draft. Possibly, who knows? New head coach, looking at different things here, but they're doing some big things in Pittsburgh. They're trying to win something. So I like their moves. I like their moves a lot. I'd say now the biggest news of them all, I would have to go, and this could have been the first one because it just happened, but to be honest, I don't know the particulars other than that Max Crosby, the massive trade that went through that the Ravens gave up. The Ravens gave up 2 first-round picks to Las Vegas for Max Crosby is officially done. So now Baltimore Ravens have backed out of their trade agreement with Las Vegas for a 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end, Max Crosby, with sources telling ESPN the decision was due to a medical concerns arose during his physical. The agreement, which was made Friday night, sent Crosby to the Ravens, with the Raiders receiving first-round picks in 2026 and 2027. So it is officially off. So Max Crosby is still a Las Vegas Raider, and that is how everything is shaping up. Obviously, there will be more details in the coming days of what really was the situation other than the physical. But that is the word right now on Max Crosby not being a Baltimore Raven, which is crazy because he changed his Instagram photo. He was in taking videos of the stadium, all this crap, and he's back to Las Vegas. So that was a crazy thing. And the Cowboys obviously were involved. They were going to give up a first and a second round, I think, with a player, or it was just that, for Max. And they said no, they will not re-enter the conversation for Max Crosby trade, probably due to the concerns of his health, whatever happened in that physical. So Cowboys off the mark. So it looks like Max Crosby will probably eventually stay with the Raiders, which still opens up the door for the Cowboys to bring in Trey Hendrickson, who I've been big on coming with Dallas. So hopefully Jerry Jones can get some things. He's been doing some well stuff. I haven't gone over some of the stuff because I'm leaving that for TikTok. Don't want to go over everything here. But, yeah. So we'll see what happens. Cowboys have been making some good moves. I like the moves they've been making on the defensive end. We sure as hell need it. So we'll see what happens in the coming days. Another big one that I think flew under the radar, Miami Dolphins rebuild continues. On the same morning that they declared to intend to release quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, the Dolphins agreed to send star defensive back Micah Fitzpatrick to the New York Jets. So New York Jets are bringing in some defensive guys in exchange for a 2026 7th-round pick, courtesy of the Los Angeles Chargers. But, dude, it was a 7th-round pick. I'm sorry. I'm a little biased with the Cowboys, but, like, really any team. And the Cowboys need a safety, the Cowboys need a guy like that. I would start defensive back. I would love to have Micah Fitzpatrick. For a 7th-round pick, we got that. That's chippy change. Just get that shit. And this round, what the fuck? What are we doing? But it was courtesy of the Los Angeles Chargers, according to ESPN. Fitzpatrick will sign a new 3-year, $40 million contract with the New York Jets. In conjunction with the deal, he was set to earn the final year of his contract with a $15.6 million base salary, but now he will sign a deal that places him in the middle tier of the safety market with an average annual value that ranks 13th at the position according to Over the Cap. So he's about in the middle of the tier. So damn, man. I mean, I think the Cowboys could have hit that up, but probably didn't have enough cap space for that big name in there. Who knows what the case is, but maybe there's a deal coming down the line for that defensive end when Trey Hendrickson, please. That would be great. And then finally, probably a bigger one, and it sucks because the New York Jets, right? They have a pretty good team. Breece Hall's coming back. They got a couple guys. They just signed Mika Fitzpatrick. They got some guys coming. Still got Garrett Wilson. They got a lot of stuff. But guess who's coming back to New York, ladies and gentlemen? Raiders sending Geno Smith to the Jets. Now, Geno Smith is headed back to the Big Apple. The Jets have acquired Smith from the Raiders in a deal that cost them almost nothing. Here's the details of the deal. Jets get Geno Smith, a 2026 7th-round pick, and which is 228th overall. Raiders got a 2026 6th-round pick, 208th overall. This marks the second time in 12 months that Smith has been traded. He was shipped from Seattle to Vegas, and now he headed back to New York. Smith started his career with the Jets and made him the 39th overall pick in the 2013 NFL Draft. He started 29 games during his time with New York. He was terrible. Then he went to Seattle, and he revamped his career. Well, he's a backup for a little bit. Then he went to Seattle, and he revamped his career, went into like a monster season, took them to the playoffs, I believe. And then they moved him after a shaky year to Las Vegas, and he played like crap there. And then they let him go because they're trying to go with Mendoza from Indiana, the quarterback in the draft, most likely. So he's now coming back to New York for another stint. Now, I think it will be different because Geno's a much better quarterback. He's a much better, much more smarter, different animal. But will he be able to replicate what he did in Seattle for the Seahawks, for the Jets? Mm-hmm. That remains to be seen. Who knows about that? And then the last one I would tell you for today, because it is a big news, and it might deter my prediction of A.J. Brown going to New England, is Patriots land wide receiver Romeo Doubs with a massive $68 million deal. The reigning AFC champions has been looking to add a receiver this offseason, and they finally made that happen today with the addition of Romeo Doubs. The former Packers wide receivers agreed to terms on a 40-year, $68 million deal. After cutting Stephon Diggs, it was pretty clear that the Patriots were going to need a new number one. And there has been some speculation that the Patriots might look to make a trade with A.J. Brown with the Eagles. Asking price was too high, and a deal never got done. Instead, the Patriots decided to bring Doubs as a new weapon for Drake May. The Patriots could still try to make a deal for Brown, but they won't be as desperate to get something done now that they have Romeo Doubs. So my prediction is still in play that the Patriots were looking for A.J. Brown, but now that they have Doubs, they're not going to be desperate. They're not going to be going and throwing the whole dice to get him. They're going to be more conservative, and they're going to wait for the right moment. Now, could this be a pairing? Romeo Doubs, A.J. Brown. You still have Booty. You got a lot of other guys in there. So this could be a good play for the Patriots, waiting for things to just develop and happen. But the Eagles are asking prices pretty high for, again, he is a number one wide receiver. He's a monster. So I did understand the fact that they were going to bring in some heavy metal to try to get stuff back for A.J. Brown. I mean, he definitely deserves it. He's a bona fide. He's a Super Bowl champion. So I definitely think that's understandable, but damn, this would be nice if they were able to get A.J. Brown. But they were able to settle with Romeo Doubs. Did they a little overpay? I would say yes. I mean, Doubs is good, but he hasn't had consistent amounts of years where it's like, oh, my God. But he's good enough for the time being, I should say. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for the podcast today. I mean, it wasn't really a lot of stuff, more of just going over some free agent news and some other things around the sports world. Obviously, Bam Adebayo breaking Kobe's record with 83 points is pretty insane. And they won, so it wasn't like he lost. But that's pretty much it for the podcast here on the Fire Sports Pod on Recap Tuesday, which is Season 9, Episode number 10, powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. I'll see you guys on Thursday for Season 9, Episode number 11. Peace out, guys. Have a great rest of your night.